So, after nearly 8 years of waiting, Cyberpunk is actually released? The game actually exists? It's a real thing? I guess so. It's here, and it's buggy. So whether you're dealing with optimization issues on PC or dealing with a slideshow on the OG Xbox One or OG PS4, specifically the Xbox One OG because that thing is a very weak piece of shit, and I can't imagine trying to play this fucking game on that system. You're probably playing at best like 5 FPS at most, and that's probably the best you're getting out of it. Like, don't even bother getting this game if all you have is an Xbox One or PS4. Like, wait, I'm buying the game. Granted, I haven't played it myself, so I don't have any personal experience with this game just yet, but going off of what my friends have told me, they've all said that they're really enjoying it. There's just a lot of issues with the optimization sense. Pretty much everyone I know got the game for PC as well. So it's installed and everything for me. I'm going to play it after I'm done with this video, and it's scheduled and everything for tomorrow when you guys see this. But until then, I just want to talk about this game being buggy because, like, if you didn't see this game being buggy on release, like, I honestly feel like that's pretty naive because, like, the fact that we even have to expect a game to be buggy on release, the fact that we can't expect it to work as it should properly when it comes out, you know, when you first buy the product, that is just so depressing to me. That's really just depressing. We, as consumers, expect the shit to not work when we buy it. We think, you know what, that's fine. It'll work in a month, probably. Maybe 3. Maybe a year. And in the case of multiplayer games, don't worry, I know there's not much content now, guys, but give it about a year or 2. There's gonna be like 10 new modes. There's gonna be a lot of new content. Like, regardless of the game, it's like, don't worry, guys, it'll be complete eventually. I mean, the fact that these companies are actually putting out editions of games called Complete Edition says everything. So they're pretty much proving my point, if we're being perfectly honest. And then from there, when the game launches broken, you'll have plenty of people saying, you're still giving the game a good score. It's definitely a paid review, which in some cases it definitely can be, but it's not exclusive to the gaming industry. It's a thing with any form of entertainment, with any industry, which, granted, it's not a good thing, but reviews, for the most part, for a lot of companies, is just another form of marketing that product. That's what they view it as. That's why a lot of companies do pay for reviews, because they want another way to market the game to someone, or whatever product it is, to someone who has yet to buy it. And they know that loyal fans are going to get it no matter what, so they have them in their pockets. And then from there, like, even if it's a paid review or not, there's of course plenty of damage control. I don't think CD Projekt Red has so far given any sort of statement addressing the game being buggy. I'm not sure as of now. But if they do, it wouldn't shock me. But maybe they will end up being different, and we'll see. We will definitely see. And then, of course, in the case of a lot of games that also launch broken, you'll have plenty of people calling it out as false advertisement, or, you know, maybe it's just like the game itself in terms of content just isn't what was advertised. Like, at this point, the whole point of this video and mentioning, like, damage control and all of that, and addressing shit and the shit being broken, the whole point is that this is just the same song and dance. Like, if anyone's mad, like, don't get me wrong, we should be mad about this with the product being broken, because at the end of the day, we're the ones who are buying the product that's given to us. You know, there's plenty of rage towards Cold War as well. Towards Assassin's Creed Valhalla, like, because when you have COVID on top of everything, it's like it makes getting out games so much harder, and because you have investors breathing down the necks of these fucking publishers and developers to get the product out, you then have the publishers breathing down the necks of the developers to get out the product by this point because of, you know, their annual income and all that, and it's like, the games turn out worse than they should. It's sort of like very reminiscent of 2014 in my opinion, because 2014 was such a bad fucking year for games. It was such a shitty year. It was the worst year of the 2010s because every game was either a broken piece of shit or a disappointment or a mix of both. And so far, I'm not seeing anyone too disappointed about Cyberpunk, just, again, that it's broken, which I'll finally be able to talk about for myself once I play it, but until then, like I said, we're just sticking with what's going on in the video. The fact that this game has had almost 8 years of anticipation, and it still has issues, that's not just a coronavirus problem. Like, it's not really much of one, I don't think. It really says something about CD Projekt Red themselves. Like, this game's been in development, again, almost a decade. People have been waiting for almost a decade, and there's still issues with it that need to be ironed out for months? Really? Like, that's another thing that we gotta talk about. People have been waiting years, delay after delay, and there's still bugs with it? The fact that there is just ridiculous. But at the same time, it's like, while the game would definitely need more of a delay, CD Projekt Red knows that they couldn't get away with doing another one. Especially one that's more than 1 month, so it's like the best they can do was December of this year. They're in a tight spot with this sort of thing. So they just had to get it out, and now we're gonna have to wait a while for patches for it to work completely as it should. And the fact that the industry works this way, and the fact that even with this game having so much crunch behind it, it still didn't come out like polished like it should. It really goes to show it doesn't matter how much developers crunch. It doesn't matter because the shit's still not going to turn out completely okay every single time. We've seen so many examples of this. Again, especially because of Corona being on top of it. Like, yes, it is a thing for some games, but not all. In the case of a game that's been in development for almost 8 years, it's definitely not as big of a case, or in the case of something like Halo Infinite, now 6 years. But for something like Cold War, for example, that's only been in development for a year and a half, yeah, that's definitely had a big effect. But point being is that the fact that this is how the industry operates is just fucking stupid. Like, and yeah, it's every industry pretty much, but it just, if this game, even with all the time it's had, is not a sign that things need to change to some degree in the industry, that things need to be improved in some way, then I don't know what is. Because no other industry can get away with such bullshit that like gaming does. Which, granted, it's probably because gaming's the most interactive of all of them. But still, my point stands, there's no excuse at all. We as consumers should get the products working when they come out. Especially with how fucking big games are now, it's like, not only do we have to deal with games still having issues, still not having all the content that they should, but we gotta deal with these big-ass fucking file sizes on top of that. Like, just let us play the games with no problem. Like, God, it just makes me miss the days of old more and more and more as we get further and further into the future. I don't give a fuck how much of a boomer I sound like right now, because it's just what I think. It's just annoying. Like, I'm just over games being fucking broken. Like, I hate that I'm so jaded to it at this point. I hate it. It's like, gaming is my favorite hobby, and the fact that we as a community are accustomed to just bullshit with every game, it's just annoying. Albeit, it's not as bad as it was a few years ago, but it's still a problem. It's just frustrating. And, like, I really wish things would start changing with this. Like, I really do. And it's like everyone is guilty. You know, at the end of the day, consumers, we're the ones consuming. But at the same time, when it comes to reviewing content, you gotta play it in order to give proper reviews of it. But still, consumers overall, we're still the ones supporting the product. Publishers are still the ones needing to make the money. The investors want this amount of money by this deadline. Developers are the ones getting the most amount of shit from everyone, all the while still not being perfect themselves in plenty of cases. You also have journalists that certainly aren't perfect, with a lot of journalism being fucking bullshit. Like, no camp in the gaming industry is perfect. We're all flawed in some way. Like, it really shows with so many major releases, especially within the last year. Like, this isn't a game I care to talk about much, because it's like, when I don't care for a game, I don't really care to talk or think about it, but I'll bring it up as an example. Last of Us 2. Love or hate the game, The way, the way that Naughty Dog was getting shit before release, like, guys, we gotta chill out with that. Obviously, that's not gonna change anything, but still, we gotta chill out with that. This video is very all over the place, but I wanted to get out something like this because I figured, hey, this game would be the perfect subject for this video. Like, it's just a perfect example of an issue within the industry. So, here you go. Here's a video just about whatever the fuck this video is. So yeah, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe for future content coming soon, as well as turn on the notification bell and set it to all notifications, and I will see you all next time. But until then, I'm out. Later.